There we go. So we're now recording. My name's Mark Street. I work for Liberator. I'm the AAC consultant and training manager. Despite my youthful looks, I've been working for Liberator for 20 years and I've been heavily involved in working and supporting high-tech AAC for all that time and thoroughly enjoyed it. So today I want to talk to you about AAC and autism. And in particular, when we're talking about AAC, we're talking about a range of AAC, be it high-tech, so those expensive devices, or the low-tech, which can be the very cheap, if not free devices or free modes of communication. Now, I will send you at the end of this webinar, I will send you a link to our website. I've already sent you links to our YouTube channel, and I've also sent you links to our Facebook channel as well. But be sure to check those out. There's lots of useful videos in there. Some of them are just general programming, which I realize won't be useful. But there are other ones in there about explaining the benefits of using some of the high-tech systems. Why do the systems work the way they do? How does that better serve and support the individual that we are working with? So I'll send you a link, and I will send you a certificate of attendance as well for those people that have registered and attended. I will say that that certificate probably won't go until next week though, because the person who does that is actually off this week and I haven't got a clue how to create the certificates. I'm not that experienced. Okay, so like I say, my name's Mark Street. My contact details are here. If you wish to email me, please feel free to do so, mark@liberator.co.uk. I've also got my mobile number and I use WhatsApp as well. So WhatsApp is very useful. Not only is it free, but it's great for sharing resources and asking questions and getting hold of me nice and quickly. So feel free to make sure that you ask me there. You'll find us, like I say, on Facebook, on YouTube, on Skype, and I'm more than happy to link in with anybody. If you're working in a school or an organisation and you'd like me to talk to your school or organisation about AAC in your organisations, I'd be more than happy to do that as well. As I say, we are recording this and I will send you out some copies of some slides as well and some useful resources. So you will get a very in-depth email from me following this training session with lots of useful resources. One of my tips is share that or save it to your desktop in a Word document, and then you can go back at any time and hit one of those links. That can be really useful. So one of the things I want to start off with is talking about modeling. And I think that we have to understand there's a huge importance and how important it is when it comes to using any system. Now, there is a chat window and feel free to use the chat. I'm going to bring that chat window up. If I ask any questions, then it'd be great if you can go into that chat window. I can see it on my other screen here, and then it means that you can also participate in this presentation. So think about modeling. Everybody's familiar with the term modeling or aided language input. Think about how used to using speech we are. So from the moment we are born, from the moment we are introduced into this world, we have our parents, we have adults, those who are verbal, modeling to us immediately. Do we have any understanding of language at that age? We simply don't. However, by having that language modeled to us continually, it means that we're able to put it into we're able to attach concept to it. So the first thing that I want to stress to you is that no matter what vocabulary system you're using, no matter what it is, you have to become familiar with it yourself in order for it to work with anybody else. Now, when I talk about that, I'm just going to show you a very small print off here. but you can see this manual overlay that I've got. This is a fixed manual board. But even if I was expecting somebody to use this, this is something I use occasionally with people when they've got a full system. They're nice little A5 cards. They're very small. And the idea being I put them into sort of, here, look, I put them into lanyards. I'll show you. When I'm going out, I have them on my lanyards. So I can say, oh, do you want something to eat or do you want something to drink? Are you going to eat or drink? What do you want? And then I might put the card in front of them, or they may well have the device. Now, that is a full system there, but even then, all that's cost me is something to print that off. It's a very simple low-tech communication board, and we have lots of those on our website. So I'm going to send you in the email something called manual boards. And the manual boards are going to be really useful for you because they are going to allow you to be able to access all that vocabulary. Bear me 1 second. Let me make a note as we go through this, because what I'm going to do is just make a quick note. If anybody's watching this back and they haven't attended live, you should still receive the resources because I'll send them out to everybody who's registered anyway. If there's anybody that's just come across this video, then email me, mark@liberator.co.uk, and I'll share these resources with you. So I'll share with you the manual boards. The manual boards can be printed off and they come in different sizes. This is what I call like a pocket size, but you could imagine I could just come up and use that in a nice and simple way. This could be 4 buttons, or in this case, it could be 84 buttons. Okay, and if you've got any questions, please go into the chat and make sure you ask me. I'm more than happy for you to ask questions. So we know the importance of modeling, and the idea of modeling is that we wouldn't argue it would be difficult to be fluent in another language if your instructor seldom used that language. How would you feel if you went to a language class and the person said, I can't speak English. I'll show you, but I can't speak it, or learning to drive a car. So it's the same for somebody who's using a communication aid system. We need to make sure that modeling is key and paramount. The other thing I want to explain to you, and it's not just children with autism, but actually, one of the things about any form of AAC that I've used is that I've modeled to children or had parents modeling to children for months. And people go, well, surely after a long period of time, that is showing that they're not capable. Absolutely not. Think about how long you are modeling to somebody who's learning to communicate. How often they are learning to use their vocabulary. It takes a long time for people to learn that vocabulary. So not only do you have to think about the vocabulary that you teach them, but also being able to model. So make sure that parents, friends, anybody working with that individual is there to be able to provide that opportunity to model to them, and they know where to find those words. The other thing that we're going to talk about today is do not go crazy when it comes to the amount of words that you're learning to use. For example, I might start working with, and in fact, I was working with a young child about 6 months ago, and I'm going to go back sometime because although I've been doing assessments online, I've not been doing obviously face-to-face assessments because of COVID. However, when I was working with this individual, I said to them, how many words does he or is he able to use on his current system? And they said, oh, hundreds. I said, can you show me? And he had a communication book. And in that communication book were hundreds and hundreds of words. Have you got people, have any of you used, give me a yes if you have you used a communication book before where it's got lots of pictures, lots of navigation through the book in there? Go into the chat and give me a yes if you have. Just because somebody has hundreds, if not thousands of words, it doesn't mean that they can use all those words. In fact, they may just use the words. If you say to them, for example, what do you want to eat? And you go into the food page and you scroll through and you find the food page and they find what they want to eat and they point to it. Have you used it in that way before? Personally, I wouldn't do that. What you want to think about is when you're first starting with language is think about the key core words that you want to use. Words like eat, drink, go, stop, more, play, it, like, want, help. I use words like this because they can be generalized and used across multiple activities and topics. Give me an example. So for example, if I was playing with a balloon, so here I am, and I'm going to be playing with a balloon. Let me find a balloon here. I could say, ready, steady, go. Go. And I could be blowing this balloon up. What could I say now to carry on doing that again? I could say, more? You want to do more? So I've got a comment here. Ideally, when you start teaching, do you teach words in isolation or in groups of words? Brilliant question. In isolation, without a doubt. You want to learn and teach each word one by one. Ready, steady, go. It could be ready, steady, go. Ready, steady, go. Pick my phone up. It could be a game on there. Ready, steady, go. And I've let it go. I'm teaching the meaning of the word go and how it can mean lots of different things. I could say, do you want me to go, or do you want me to stop? Stop or go? And the child says, go. Oh, okay, I'll go. And they can say, if you want me to stop, you can tell me to stop. Stop. And then I come back. I could use that simple stop and go and teach the meaning of that word. I use a lot of apps. Now, I don't know if you're familiar with these different kinds of apps. There's an app that I really like called Pog. It's a great app. And with this app, Pog, what it allows me to do is to choose different activities. So for example, I can spell a word, let's say play. So I spell a word, in this case I've spelled play, and I'm going to press go. And look what it does. He's playing with the ball. Oh, look, there he is, and go. Now, if I was doing this activity, it's called POG, P-O-G-G. I'll type it out for you. Let me have a look. P-O-G-G, there you go. So with POG, I can say, hey, do you want to do some more? Shall we do more with POG? Shall we? And again, remember this could be smaller. Shall we do more? Shall we do more with POG? So that allows us to be able to use this activity. And if the child says stop, oh, I thought you were enjoying that game. You want me to stop? and I'm going to model it. Now, this could be something that speaks out. It could be, I don't know if you've seen them. Let me get the our website up and show you some useful or different devices. Let me see if I can just share the screen with you. I'm just going to share the Liberator website. There you go. You should be able to see that now. So on here, we've got lots of low-tech equipment. So low-tech communicators, GoTalks. These are really useful. There's lots of different low-tech devices that you can use. So here we've got a device called a GoTalk. This is just 9 buttons here with the top row, but there are different versions of this product. Okay, can you see me still? Can everybody still see my screen and see the website? Yeah, brilliant. Okay. So with this kind of system here, you'll see how people have put words like water, fix my pillow, toilet. I wouldn't use it like this. I'd have words like stop, go, more, want, it, up, down, in, hello. Think about those key words that you would want to be able to use across multiple settings. Fix my pillow can only be used for one thing. I want a drink can only be used for one thing. But if I've got the word drink there, oh, drink, you've got a drink. Do you mean, do I want a drink? Oh, yes, please. That would be great. Eat. Are you asking me if I would like something to eat? I'm okay, thank you, because they've already got something to eat. So there's another question here. If the child is not maintaining eye contact, then how can we implement this? Again, another good question. The only way you can implement this, even if the child is not maintaining eye contact, is repetition. Only through repetition and continuous modeling will that child start to see the benefits of using a system. Perhaps it could be the word help. Maybe you need to have somebody else there who's also using a communication aid system, or if not, use a family member. So you could model with another family member. Perhaps you could say, okay, so imagine you've got mum and dad and you've got the child who's not engaging. Mum could say, eat on the talker, and dad go, oh, do you want some of this food? Oh, look, you're eating, that's brilliant. And even though mum can speak, maybe the child's thinking, this is great. Maybe if the child is getting frustrated, they want your attention, you could use the word help. I know you've got a problem, and if you want me to help you, you can tell me help. Take their hand and do hand over hand and press the button with them. Help. You can ask me for help and I will stop and help you. And what that does then, it gives them the ability to start to learn that language. And we call that motor automaticity, motor planning. When somebody is learning to communicate, there are lots of different ways that we can prompt or model to them. We can do hand, does anybody do hand, under or over hand? If you do this, please don't push that person's finger onto the device. Make sure you take them to the device and let them get that tactile feedback. That's what you want. You want them to be able to press it. It could be partial physical assistance. Guide their elbow to the device. It could be modeling, which is pressing the button yourself and saying, eat. I'm going to have this to eat. This is so good. Maybe you want to eat and you've got to be positive. So eat doesn't mean they have to do it. You do it. Do it for a short period of time as well. If you're modeling, don't keep modeling for long periods of time. 10, 15 minutes, short little windows. Provide them with a gesture. Shall we have a drink? They're not looking at the talker. maybe you want this drink. And they indicate that they will want that drink. And they're trying to take it from you. I think you want this drink. And they could be pressing it on the GoTalk. Will GoTalk produce words? So do you mean, will it produce sound? Absolutely. And that's something that's very, very important. You want something that will produce a sound, ideally. One of the problems about using a card like this is that the sound produced from this card is your voice. Shall we go? Shall we stop? I said, shall we go? Shall we stop? And then if Jazz was doing this, Jazz might say, go, stop. And that's the right way to do it. We want to be able to produce the words that this would say if it was a device. Keep it simple, okay? Keep it very simple. So yes, ideally, we want our device to give some speech back. Otherwise, it's like you learning a language. If it's me saying, I'm going to teach you a new word. The new word is, did you get that? And I'm miming it. I actually said the word, one of my favorite words is incredulous. Incredulous. Let me type that out for you. It's a great word. Let me give you that word. I don't know if you're familiar with this word, incredulous. Beyond belief. There you go, incredulous. It's a great word. You could give a direct verbal cue. What shall we do now? Shall we have something to drink or something to eat? Shall we go or shall we stop? Keep it simple. Shall we go or stop? Put things out of reach. Let people make choices. But what you don't want to do is put things out of reach, like different foods, and say, do you want the burger? Do you want the fries? Do you want the fish? Do you want the vegetables? Do you want the rice? Don't do that. Make it simple. Do you want to eat or do you want to drink? Do you want to go or do you want to stop? What do you want? And do it that way, rather than asking them specific things. Okay. So modeling, how does it help? Well, we know modeling helps us. Oh, sorry, I've just realized I'm showing the wrong screen still. So let me go back here. Just before I go on there, I will show my other screen so you can see the website. There's lots of different types of GoTalks. Look, the GoTalk 4, the GoTalk 9, the GoTalk 20, and these have different overlays that you can take in and out. But less is more. Less is a lot more. You can do this and make it simple. So don't be doing page upon page or layer upon layer. Make it simple. There's a GoTalk 32. And again, you can get lots of words on these kind of devices. So you'll see how there's a real selection of nice, simple, low-tech systems. There's another low-tech system which I really like, and I'm going to share it with you. Let me find it. It's called, has anybody seen the talking photo album? There it is. Has anybody seen this? The talking photo album. The idea of this is that you can put photographs into this, and it has a button at the bottom that allows you to record a message. Now, for some people, don't get me wrong, for some people, they're not about learning individual words. They may not be at that level. They may want simple communication. And the ways I've seen these being used is they might have a picture of their home and they press the button and say, I want to go home. They might have a picture of something to eat and say, this is my favorite food. Or they might have a picture of their mum and say, this is my mum. She looks after me. And so they can have individual messages as well. So these are very inexpensive means of communications, and you can see how people are using them to tell stories. It might be a certificate that was received at school. It could be a picture they've got. It could be about themselves. There's lots of different ways. It could be a school project. It could be a passport. And what I mean by that is it could be a story about an individual. Hi, my name's Mark. I use this communication device to talk with. Please be patient. And it could be something all about that individual. When a child or an adult moves care facilities or maybe moves to a new school, you could create a communication passport. At 10 o'clock, I like to have my snack. At 3 o'clock, I like to go home. I go home on the bus. So you can see how you can create these individual passports about people. Does anybody use this kind of thing already? Let me know if you do. I'd be interested to see if you're already using these kind of things. Go into the chat window. There's lots of useful, small, low-tech resources. These could be single messages. They could be things like the Super Talker. So we've got lots of other things. Here's one, the Quick Talker. These are even more affordable than the current GoTalks. The Quick Talker has 7 different buttons, or you've got 12 buttons or 23 buttons. And in the UK, that sort of price, £113, is quite affordable for a communication system. It uses a battery, it's lightweight, it has multiple levels. And what I do like in this particular example, can you see how they've used some core words on this? So if I magnify in, stop, you, they've got some really good words here, and these can be symbol based with the words on there as well. So you can print and make these yourself using whatever symbols you like. Are these the kind of things that you like to use? Give me a yes if that's the kind of thing that you like to use. Just want to give you some idea if these are the right kind of things that you like. So there's lots of different types of communication systems at a low tech. Also, I want to just share with you in resources, sorry, not in resources, excuse me. We also have, yeah, it is resources, I apologize. We've also got our low-tech support books. And again, I will send you a link in the email. The low-tech support books are books like this. There is a great video there showing you how you can make these books. And these books are available in 45, 60, and 84 locations. Let me show you what these books look like. So here's one that I've made. There's my book, and you can see that I've got all my high frequency words here. I could just give that to somebody and they could share they could use this for their high frequency words. But if they were a little bit more able, maybe they're able to talk about other topics. So we're going to talk about food. What food do you want? And I could say, want bacon. Oh, that's right. You want bacon. What drink would you like? Want. And we can go to drinks. What drinks do you want? Let's have a look. There's a lot, and you can customize these with your own drinks. You want a cold drink. You want Coke. So these are great. Oh, can you see that? Can everybody see that video, me holding these up? Some people are saying they can't see the video. Can you see me, everybody? Just waiting for anybody to say yes there. Hardly able to see the book. Yeah, I mean this book, and I will send you a link so you can see the. Can you see the book on the slideshow? So this is the book that I'm showing, and what I'll do is they're available in different symbol sets, and these are free of charge to download. So what I will do is I will send you links to all of these manuals that you can download free of charge, and hopefully they're very helpful for you. Okay, like I said before, I'm going to send you lots of useful resources that you can share. So here we have the Lowtech support books that I was just telling you about. And here we have what we call manual boards. Now these manual boards are available for 2 devices. I'd say you can look at either one of these, but let me show you the accent ones. I'm going to go into the Easy Chat Core manual boards. And again, I'm going to send you the links for these. There's a video there or a link to show you how to download them. But look at these boards. Here we've got a 15 location board that you can print off. It's got words, stop, go, play, do. They're bigger, 28 locations, 36 locations, 45, 60, and 84. So these are all very similar. They're just different sizes. And what they give you the ability to do is to access some of those high frequency words that we spoke about at the beginning. So I'm sure you could find great use for these. So in the email, I will send you an email that says Lowtech support books. Click here. Manual boards. Click here, and you'll be able to access all of these. And if you have a problem, then message me or email me, and I'll be more than happy to help you out finding these. We've also got, and I'm going to go back on our website as well. If you go into, let me have a look, into resources and handouts and presentations, there's a question here. How to choose the high frequency words for a child? That's a really good question. And the answer to that would be is that core vocabulary is consistent across age, race, and population. What we need to do is to think about the important words that we want to teach. And in fact, under resources on our website, you can find a core words list. And if you're unsure which words to start with, one of my favorite word lists is this one, the Liberator core word list, Banaji. One of my favorite lists, because this is a choice or a selection of high frequency words, and I'm hoping you can see these, a choice of high frequency words used by children. But my advice would be, think about the words that you first learned. I don't want to teach words like pen or book. I want to teach words like go, stop, and more. So there's lots of high frequency word lists. And in fact, on our website, we've got another resource that you can use. Let me find it and show you, and I will send it to you. Let me have a look. I'm sure it's under, I'm just going to see where it is. Resources, handouts and presentations. There is something called the Easy Chat, Play and Explore Teaching Pack. And what this gives you is lots of useful ideas and tips. There's so much in here that's free. There's a LAMP Words for Life. Oh, sorry, not that one. Here's one, Teaching Core Words Across the Day. Again, I will send you a link. Look at this booklet. I'm going to open this booklet up. This is all free of charge. Teaching Core Words Across the Day. And when you go into this document, this will give you a list of high frequency words that you can use. Let me show it. There they are. This says, here are some high frequency words that you can teach. And when you click on that word, let's say drink, it takes you to the page and tells you how to teach that word. So this is now giving you access and saying, this is how you teach those words. So use this booklet, and these are great. It's a great booklet to share with people who are not familiar with communication and share with people who are, and gets you targeting all of those words. So I'll go back up here. There it is. Teaching core words across the day. It's got a great description. This is all free, remember, to use. So I'll make sure you get copies of this in my email. There's lots of useful resources in here. AAC participation plan. There's lots of ways that we can encourage you to use the communication device. There's home implementation activities. Let's get parents using this. At meal times, what words can I use? More, that, eat, drink, and want. What 2-word phrases? What 3-word phrases can I use? And make sure you make it simple. Start off simple and build up. Just think, when you were learning to communicate first, did you start off on the high frequency words? Absolutely not. You had individual words and you put them together to start building sentences. Want, want. Oh, you want it. Drink. Mine. More. And then you would start to say, want more. Want it. Want more. Drink. And build up and learn. So home implementation. You're going to get access to all of these through our website and through the links that I send you as well. There's something called an activity first worksheet. Give this to your parents. Give this to people you're working with. Look at this sheet. What this sheet does is says, think of an activity that you like to do. Can somebody name me an activity there that you like to do with somebody that's non-verbal? What kind of activity do you like to do? Just go into the chat window and type me an activity that you might like to do. Could be anything, could be cooking. What about cooking? Do you do any cooking activities? Puzzles, brilliant. So puzzles and cooking. Now, let me write this down. We're going to do a puzzles activity. I can use the word more. I can use the word stop. I can use the word go. I could use the word down. And I could use the word in. There we go. More, stop, go, down, in. And I'm working, and help, that's a good one. So here I am working with a puzzle. Oh, I might use the word mine, or even turn. I could say mine, that's right, it's your go, you do it. So I put the puzzle. Shall I put it in there? Ready, steady, go. Stop, it's the wrong one. You've put it in the wrong place. Now, let's do a cooking. A yes, no, that's a good question. A lot of children have a yes, no already. And if they do, let's carry on. This is about what we call a total communication approach, a multimodal communication. I might give a gesture, no, yes. So if I've got a good yes and no, I don't need to repeat it on the device because it's wasting a valuable space to learn a new word. And obviously, if I'm using yes and no in a gesture, then I've got an understanding of it as well. So I would say that a yes and no can come a little bit later on if you're happy with that. Depends on the individual. But let's look at the words that we chose. More, stop, go, down, help, in, mine. We keep it simple. It could just be 3 words to begin with. And somebody else wrote the word like. Yeah, If it's okay to keep adding more words, add. These are good words that you're choosing. But let's go back to my idea of cooking. Could I use more in my cooking activity? Yes. Could I use stop in my cooking activity? Yes. And in puzzles. Could I use go? Yes, I could. Could I use down? Yeah, I can turn the oven down. I could turn the mixer down and make it go slow. I could put the bowl down on the table. I could say help. I could stir it slow and say, I need help. I could put the flour in the bowl. I could turn the mixture. I could say it's mine. So the important thing is that the words that I'm using are words that can be generalized and used across multiple activities. If I just said the word jigsaw, puzzle piece, and words like that, could I have used them in cooking? If I was just using words like flour, sugar, milk, bowl, spoon, could I use those for puzzles? So it's very, we have to choose our words carefully. If I've got words like more, stop, go, help, down, it, turn, and mine, I can use them for any activity and I can learn what these words mean. So the idea of this sheet that I'm showing you is write down your word cooking and then write down words, nouns that you're going to use. Write down action words that you're going to use. Write down question words or adjectives so that everybody is teaching these few words. And you know what? You don't need a lot of words. Just put 10 words in there. More, stop, go, like, mine, turn, my, help, in, out, go. Those kind of words. Eat. So that's the activity first worksheet, and all these you'll be able to get access to. I love this chart. Again, it's a really good chart to think about. This is the do's and don'ts of AAC. Presume competence. I can do this. Follow prompt hierarchy. Don't just be holding my hand and pressing everything. Make sure that you model to me and you follow the different prompting levels. Teach language, not just requesting, but communicating outside by commenting, assisting, lots of different ways. Pause, provide core words. So these are the sort of the tips and tricks of AAC. Oh, I've got somebody there on mute. I was going to mute all there. Bear with me. Is somebody trying to ask a question there because I couldn't hear? Just unmute your microphone again if you're asking a question. There was a bit of background noise there. So these are good charts to put up in your classroom and to teach people. So AAC Bootcamp, a really good resource to have there. Okay, let me bring back my screen. Where are we? There we go. So you should be able to see my screen again. So these are the different levels of modeling or aided language input so that you can provide and give access to the vocabulary or support somebody modeling. Modeling, we know it helps because it mirrors natural language development. I want you to teach a word, and it's important that you teach words because it helps to build somebody's vocabulary skills. Teach them word by word individually, not phrases, because we don't learn to communicate in phrases. And we know that modeling reduces that pressure, and that's important too. So we need to make sure that we reduce pressure. When you're modeling on a device, you don't need to say every single word in the sentence. You might do this. Stop. Oh, shall we stop? We want to stop. Yes, let's stop. And I'm reinforcing that with speech as well. So that's equally important. Now, I don't know if anybody has heard of lamp Words for Life. LAMP Words for Life is a vocabulary system or an app that you can get. I don't know, I'm assuming that LAMP Words for Life should be available. Is it available online? Is that the LAMP Words for Life, do you mean? It should be. Have a look at the App Store and have a look at LAMP Words for Life. Here it is, LAMP Words for Life. Oh, there you go. Thank you. LAMP Words for Life is a very unique system. I'm just going to bring it up here for you. I'm going to just bring it so you can hopefully see my screen in a second. Can you see LAMP Words for Life screen now? Just somebody let me know. Can you see that program? Yep, brilliant. This is LAMP Words for Life. And I'm just going to bring everything out. That is the full system. What does everybody think? Does that look really busy? Yep. Does it look really complicated? Yep. That is a full vocabulary system. There's a but. And the but is it can be made to be a lot easier. It has a tool called Vocabulary Builder. And what this allows us to do is to reduce the vocabulary down to target the words that we want to use. So for example, if I was working with somebody and I just wanted to use the words go and stop, the device will just find those words for me. Go and stop. So it's targeting those individual words. The beauty of this system, though, is that those words will always remain in the same place. Motor planning is important. Who uses an iPhone or a smartphone? How many times do you go in and find an app? If it's moved, you have a problem finding it. Would that be fair? So if you go in and find an app and it's moved, it becomes really hard. Well, it's the same here. That because with LAMP Words for Life, we teach the words and those words will always stay there. So the size of the image could stay the same. Yes. A lot of people say, is it too small? No. Because the image size stays the same and it stays in the same location. Let me add another word, play. So here I'm going to add the word play, and I'll add the word more, and I'll add the word up and down. And what happens is these words are now added automatically and they'll always be there. Up, down, go, play. These can be a one hit as well, so you can just press them once and it says the word. But don't worry about the size of the image. How many children do you see hitting apps and using computers? No problems with sizes, so don't worry about that. If I bring everything back, look what happens. Up is in the same place. Down is in the same place. More is in the same place. Play is in the same place. Everything stays in the same place. I never ever have to be learning. Will it be distracted as a child when there are too many images? No, because eventually they're going to learn them, so it becomes busier and busier. And no, the more they learn, the more they have on screen, it becomes more. It's like anything. When you have a remote control for your television, how busy does it look when you first start using it? How difficult does it look? But actually, when you start to use it, it becomes easy. And that's the same with the mobile telephone or anything else that we're using. It becomes easy to use after a while. So what I am going to do in the video, that, sorry, in the email that I send to you, I'm going to send you a list of our webinars, our list of our most frequent videos that people like to watch. And in there are videos that you can watch about LAMP Words for Life and how it compares to other apps and how it compares to other approaches. Because we wouldn't have time to talk about that today, but it's something that you can easily watch in your own time and easily use in your own time, understand. So feel free and please do watch those videos. There's so many of them. And in fact, I'm going to go into our YouTube channel here. There's our YouTube channel. Look at all these videos that you have access to. So there's lots of videos in there. And if you go into our playlists, you can look here, there's interviews with people that we work with, there's implementation ideas, there's our webinars playlist, so there's a list of our webinars, there they are.
All right, again, I say thank you very much to everybody.
So much in there that you can benefit from, and I'm sure that you'll find good use of. Does anybody else have any questions that they would like to ask? I'm just looking at the chat window to see if there's any questions that you have. That covers the content that I wanted to go through and introduce you to. So be aware that there's lots of low-tech manual boards. You've got low-tech communication books. You've got low-tech devices. All those manuals that I showed you, well, showing you online, these manuals, they're all free on our website. Go and get those. And hopefully, if you've got any questions, you can email me, mark@liberator.co.uk, and I'd be more than happy to help you. So just one last, what age would you start teaching an AAC device? As early as possible. I have children that I work with from 18 months onwards. Even if it's low tech, 18 months onwards, I start to introduce this. I've got children who are using AAC LAMP Words for Life as an app at a very early age. How does your strategy vary based on age of intervention? It's really just finding motivators for that individual based on what they like to do. Now, obviously, if you're working with somebody at 2 to 3 years of age, you're going to be doing it based around what they're doing, what play, what they're eating, where they're going. Whereas for somebody who is 8 years of age, it might be more based around their curriculum. We do, and I'm absolutely with you as far as literacy is concerned. And that's one of the benefits of having these words here. I do encourage literacy. However, what I would always do is encourage literacy to be the target. So in fact, we have manual boards that I tape to people's wheelchairs or desks, and I can just model the spelling of words. But this is where it's an opportunity to spell words that we don't use so often. For example, peach water. I might spell peach water. I might say drink peach water and spell that. They can see how, so that the target word, the key word's important, but those words that we're not using very often. I might ask you a question about planets. What planet is the biggest? What planet is the smallest? Pluto. Let's spell it. Let's spell Pluto. We don't need to store that in the device. So it can vary from, and people ask about the different cognitive abilities. However, many people, and give me a yes if you find this, many people make assumptions based on what they think, not what they know. I have worked with many children, and somebody said to me, he can't do this. And I say, give him time. He'll learn to do it. It's only through repetition that they'll learn to do it. And that's the key. Please don't say he or she can't do this. Have the evidence to support that and learn that they can't do it. The method varied based on RDS, so people asking there are many children with ASD who are initially pre-verbal. Would you start with AAC? Yes. There are many children I've worked with on apps or Lowtech where they learn to become verbal. And the apps like LAMP Words for Life allows them or helps them to have a consistent verbal model so that they're hearing the words, they're attaching meaning, and they can speak those words at a later date. So it does apply, and not just for children with who use for autism. This could be children with learning difficulties. So there are many different areas that we can look at. Even for a child with a learning difficulty, we could use something like this and just have 10 words on. We could use something like this and have 10 words on. So start off and assume they can do it until you get the evidence they can't do it. Some good questions there. Thank you very much. There were some really good questions. Is there anything else you'd like to ask? Okay, I'll stop the recording now. I'm going to get your email prepared. And as I say, what I will do